Brett Kaczynski with the Lansing Parks and Recreation Department, and we're here today to talk about summer and some of the classes and programs that we'll be offering this summer. With me is Emily Stevens, who is the Manager of Leisure Services, and also Ramon Brunson, who is our Youth Sports Coordinator. So Ramon, let's start with you. What are some of the summer sports that we're going to be seeing this year, and when can we start registering for those?
So one of them is Little Sluggers T-Ball. And so that takes place at Benjamin Davis Park, and it's for 3 and 4-year-olds. And so it's just a fun clinic just to introduce the sport of baseball to the 3 and 4-year-olds. And so that registration, I think, opened with April 7th.
Yep.
April 7th,
Yep.
that registration would open. And so I encourage you to register as soon as possible just to make sure you get your spot. And the cool thing about it is that the Little Sluggers also get a T-shirt with their registration.
Yeah.
And then
so cute.
Yeah.
You think you get small enough shirts, and then they're never small enough.
Yeah, I know. I got a couple extra small T-shirts and look at them. They look pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool with the Little Sluggers T-ball. And then we also have what is T-ball baseball for the 5 and 6-year-olds. Would also take place at Benjamin Davis Park. And then we go into the Wildcat baseball for machine pitch for the 7 and 8-year-olds. Last year we played at Marshall Park, what was great. I think a lot of the families that came out to the event really enjoyed Marshall Park over there, and so hopefully to continue at that location. And then we also go to the 9 and 10-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 9 and 10-year-olds. Yeah, 9 and 10-year-olds, and then 11 and 12 and 13, 14. So baseball has been talked about around this community a lot, and I think a lot of people around here want to see baseball back here in the city of Lansing. So I highly, highly encourage you to register for the baseball season. But we also have softball season for the girls, is 9 to 12-year-olds, and so that also introduced the sport of softball. So I highly, highly encourage you to get registered as soon as possible. And one other thing is we go into summer to also start thinking about the fall sports. And so you also want to be ahead of the registration for any fall activities, and that would be flag football and soccer. So those are some of the activities we have going on for the summer. Like I said, register as soon as possible.
What about coaches for that? Are we always in need of coaches for our youth sports?
Yes, we always in need of coaches for the youth sports. And it's always great when you have parents step up and want to coach. And also for this upcoming season, we have some new coaches who had never participated with Lansing Parks and Rec and would love to start giving back to the community. So if you have experience with baseball or any other sports that we offer for Parks and Rec, you could definitely reach out to us, and we definitely get you going with some training. But if you've already been doing it, or if a parent or know someone, just send them our way. So coaches is always.
Yep.
I think that's something, folks are always scared to volunteer to coach, but I think the resources are out there, whether they're on the internet or what Ramon and his team can provide. And then there's also officiating. I know you're looking for umpires and also referees throughout the year. Talk a little bit about what you need there.
Yeah, so referees and umpires is always I think we're looking for our sports. It's always great to get, some people who have experience, but through the way, we have been training for basketball and soccer and softball and baseball to get some of the high school students or whoever up to speed with everything. And so always looking for, someone to referee the games. And if you do have experience, that's even better. But if you don't have experience, that should not, stop you for joining the team and want to learn more about any of the sports and stuff. We'll definitely get you trained up. And so that's one of the biggest things I've been working on for the youth sports department is getting the officials, everybody trained properly so they have a better understanding with the rules and how the sport operate. And I think what I have seen in the past since I've been here is when the officials know the rules, it helps the game goes a lot smoother.
Yeah.
You're not going to have every call right, but it does help the mood of the game.
I think it's great when high schoolers come in and are officials, because I think it also gives them a little perspective. So then when they're playing their high school sport, they understand how tough that is. Because it seems real simple when you're sitting on the sidelines, but like you really have to stay in and call your calls, stick with your calls, put up with people not agreeing with you. And so I think it's a really good experience, especially for high school students, to kind of go through and feel that side of the sport.
Yeah.
And so if you're interested in coaching or interested in officiating, if you're interested in any of the jobs, or whether that be officiating or also working in our summer camps, go to LansingMI.gov. And you will see jobs on there, or applying for jobs with the City of Lansing. And all of those are listed there. And specifically, Ramon, just back to the coaches, I want to emphasize that we're talking games and practices would be during the week. So you do not have to commit your summer weekends to this. So this is all during the week. So there's no reason, not to give back a little bit there. Emily, let's talk a little bit about our summer camps. Once again, I know folks are ready to register for those. Registration for that will be open April 7th for Lansing residents, and then the 14th for non-residents. And you should see our Lansing Living early in April in your mailbox. But let's talk a little bit about summer camps and what we have going this year.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little bit different this year. So we're offering 3 kids camps this year. We have one at Foster, one at Geyer, and then we have one at Gardner International School, because our Schmidt Community Center, the gym, is going to be under construction for the summer. So we're excited to see it, be done, but always when there's construction, things shut down for a bit. So we moved over to the Gardner International School, and we'll have camp there. These camps run from 7:45 in the morning until 6 at night. They include breakfast, lunch, field trips, a T-shirt. We plan games, crafts. We have a lot of different visiting groups. They're great. Our goal is to make sure that kids have a safe and fun place to play. I love them, how they kind of get kids connected throughout the city. So then once they're changing schools or going up to another school, they'll all of a sudden be like, hey, you went to camp with me. And so we're kind of making the community feel smaller for them and connecting them with more people. It's a great experience. It's a great work. It's a great summer job. So many people have come through our programs and still say best job I've ever had. So it's tough. It's a lot of work, but it's really rewarding, and it's really fun to work with those kids and have a lot of fun with them.
All right, and then we're really going to get towards the middle of summer and to the 4th of July. 4th of July is on a Friday this year, and we will start with a parade at 11 a.m. That's our annual parade that we do around the Capitol Loop. A little bit different this year will be the location from where our fireworks are shot from. That always used to be from Oak Park. This year, we're going to be shooting them from the Shiawassee Street Bridge. So the viewing that we have for our summer concert, which starts at 8 p.m. that evening in Riverfront Park with the Lansing Concert Band, the fireworks display this year will be really awesome in terms of the view that we have. You will want to get into Riverfront Park, and again, we have that area opened up for our concert. We always have the inflatables there. But you're going to see a more intense show. The fireworks may not go as high because we are not able to shoot as large of shells in that area, but we are really excited for that. I know the Lugnuts will have a game as well this year, and I believe most of those fireworks will be able to be seen on the Shiawassee Street Bridge. But we're excited about that because it's something new, something different, a little bit more intensity there in the 14-minute show that will take place on Friday, July 4th. So if folks are interested in being in the parade that's at 11 a.m. that morning, talk a little bit about where they can register for that.
Yep. So there's a form online. So if you go to LansingMI.gov/parks, there is a form that you can enter to be in the 4th of July parade. We welcome everyone. It's everyone. So, we would love to come and celebrate what's in our community. It's so interesting to see the different groups groups that come in and what they come up with and how they celebrate, the 4th of July. So I would love to have more. Would love to have bands. It's a little hard to get a marching band, a high school marching band in the middle of summer. They don't seem to want to come out for for that. They have other, there's no grade tied to it. But we animals, all the things, we love it all. So it's a real short. We just kind of go right around the Capitol. So you're not out there forever, and it's a lot of fun. So hopefully, I'd love to have you join us and celebrate the 4th with us.
And I think we really want to talk about next year. I know we're talking a year away, so this is July 4th, 2026. This is our nation's 250th birthday. So 1776 to 2026. And we're planning some big things for us. We already have booked the band, which is the
Air Force. Yes, the Air Force. And I don't have it right on top of my head, but the Air Force band.
But the Air Force band's coming in. We're going to be doing a larger show that year with the fireworks. So plans are already taking place for that, which is exciting. And again, celebrating that 250th anniversary, that'll be next year. So let's talk about it's time to hit the pool. And we're talking about Hunter Park Pool here. What are the days and hours for that? We know that it's open 7 days a week, weather permitting. But talk a little bit about what we have going on at Hunter Park Pool this year.
Sure. Yeah. So it opens June 14th. It's from 1 to 4 and then 5 to 7. You do need to register. We now have kind of a scan-in system. So you come in and they'll give you a little barcode and sign you in that way. So we try to make it a little bit faster than it's been in the past. It's totally free. You come in. There are some rules about ages. So you make sure that if you're 4 and under, they have to have an adult within arm's reach. Ages 5 to 12 have to be supervised by an adult at all times. And each adult can supervise 2 children under 4 or 5. So they're just to make sure that everyone's safe and everyone's taken care of. We want to make sure that we're respecting those rules. If you're over 13, you must bring in your high school ID to make sure that and get registered with that. But yeah, just making sure that you're ready to register that first time. Then after that, it's really easy to come in, and it's a great place to go cool off. It's also a great place to work. We're always looking for lifeguards as well. So we would love to have you come enjoy or come and work for us for that.
And we will train you.
We will train you. Yes. Yep.
So that is something that Stacy McNamara is a certified trainer, so we will get you trained. And that is something that you can take at a younger age. I believe we start at 16 for lifeguards.
Yep.
And that is something, again, that they are always in demand. So I know we can fill a lot of hours with that, not only during the summer, but also throughout the year, as far as our aquatics program.
Well, and I would say if you haven't been to Hunter Pool, it's really worth a trip. Anybody who hasn't seen it, or even if you saw it a while ago, we've got all new paint job, all new. It's kind of transformed. But if you haven't been there, anyone I've taken is real surprised when they see it. We have zero depth entry, climbing walls, splash pad. It's a really fun. Excellent spot to go. It's a little hidden from the road, but when you go back there, it's an excellent facility, and I encourage you to go check it out.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Because when I went out and seen all the new paint and everything that took place out there, I was really blown away. So if you haven't been there, definitely go this summer.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, so I know, Ramon, you talked about Davis Park, and we are having or installing our third National Fitness Campaign fitness facility there, and this will be on the Pleasant Grove side. So it will also be right along the river trail there, connecting really the fitness facility that is at McGuire Park. And I know you are big into running and fitness.
Yes, I am.
So talk a little bit about what that means to you as far as your workouts and how you plan to incorporate that and what folks can do either if they wanted to come to Davis Park and just use that fitness facility there, or really connect the two parks.
Yeah, so one thing about Davis Park is that it does have the path that goes around Benjamin Davis Park. And so you can do a run around the path, and then now having that workout facility, space right there, you can do a workout right there. And so you can do a couple of loops around and then do a couple of workouts. And so that's my plan, is to be out there working out on the machines. Just on that space right there and then do a couple runs. But I think it was another cool thing I had shared with Brett too when he was telling me about it is that it is connected to McGuire Park. And so even if you could start at Benjamin Davis Park, you can take the Lansing path or trail down to McGuire Park, and that connects you to the other workout space that we have. And so you could do a workout at Benjamin Davis, run a few miles, and then do another workout at McGuire Park. So I know I'm pushing the limit, but I'd love
You
to
can
have.
also ride your bike.
You can also ride your bike. You don't have to run.
Is there a place to lay down?
Yeah,
you
can lay down. But it's just cool to have those two facilities, those two spaces to work at two great parks. To be honest, Davis Park and McGuire Park is one of my two favorite parks to go to in the city of Lansing. So because it just connects you to so many different directions. So you can head downtown, you can head to Michigan State, or you can just head to the south side of Lansing. So those are like my two favorite spots to start running at. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, and that's something that if you're like, well, how do I work out there? There is instructions there on the wall. There is a QR code. We are going to have that very visible on Pleasant Grove as you're heading north or south. You will be able to see that facility and just go there and try it out. Take a look at what you're able to do in terms of types of physical fitness activities on there. There's a QR code for you to get some of the detailed in terms of instructions for how to use it. So look for that there at Davis Park. And then Marshall Park, I know you talked a little bit about that, but we are going to be installing this summer a 4-court basketball court complex there, and this will be on the northeast side of Marshall Park. We're really excited about really a lengthy meaning a lot of our basketball courts outside are smaller. I think this is going to be what we would call a full court. Lots of color out there in terms of on the facility itself, but an opportunity for us to program basketball out there, outside. Whether that be for our teens, whether that be for young adults, seniors, whether that be for girls, younger kids, have summer camps out there in the future. But Ramon, I guess if you could talk a little bit about what that would mean to basketball in the area, youth basketball, et cetera.
Yeah, I was just visualizing Marshall Park because if you haven't been to Marshall Park, it's a great park too as well, especially adding in the basketball courts because it's a sand volleyball out there too as well, and then also a baseball field. So I feel like it's a great sports kind of complex on that side of town. And so also, that'd be great for this area because a lot of I come across a lot of people asking, when can we do like a basketball tournament or outside or 3-on-3 tournament? And I think that'll be a great idea and a great place to host a 3-on-3 tournament just in the location of Marshall Park on that side of town. And it's starting to develop into like a sports complex in some type of way. And so as you was talking, my wheels was kind of turning in my mind of like things we can do out there at Marshall Park. So hopefully for next summer, we can put some of those plans into action and stuff. So.
Let's talk a little bit about teens. And let's say my young person is kind of aged out of the camp with our summer day camp. Are there opportunities for them as far as volunteering or being involved with the camp, even though they may have aged out of there? And then what about teen programs that we would offer as well?
Yep. So we do have a leader in training program, and that is for the kids who have aged out. So if they're over 13, they can go through this leader in training program. And basically, we kind of they go through the staff training with our staff. They have staff mentors, and we really work with them on what it's like to kind of have a job in that next step. A lot of those kids we end up hiring as camp counselors, and sometimes even a little early, depending on their skills. But we love having the campers that were in our program come on and be a leader in training, and then even come on and be staff. They really get it, and it really is. It's a good experience. We try to see if we get them certified in certain things like CPR, first aid. If they're interested in lifeguarding, we look at that. So really just trying to get them a lot of experience so they're ready to step into the world of work when they get old enough. So we're hoping. We're really fortunate Lake Trust Credit Union sponsors that program, so we're excited to bring some kids in and really give them some resources for that. We also, every center has a teen night, so it's just a free teen night. from 6 to 8 at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. And a team can go up to one of the centers, and depending on the center, there's drop-in basketball. We have our traditional game room with like pool and ping pong and things like that, billiards. I was gonna say, and then we've just added some video games to it. So at some sports some places we have a special room for it, but we have a lot of video games. We now have a Nintendo Wii, Xbox, a lot of things on site to kind of step up our gaming gaming platforms. So so we're working on that and are excited to bring that to all the centers.
Yeah.
And I know, Ramon, we're excited about at Ferris Park putting in the strikeout baseball facility. So that will be open here this summer. We're looking forward to the ribbon cutting on that. And again, the idea of this is kind of like the Beacon Field, where you can pitch and hit, and it all stays contained within the facility there. But I know we're talking with the group from Strikeout Baseball about some of the programming that we would have out there. But what would this mean, a facility like this, to really our youth sports, specifically in terms of baseball?
So I know they'd be, like I said before about the baseball, it'd be huge because a lot of people in this city, in this area, is looking to want to bring baseball back. And so, and right now I can see soccer is huge by adding the other fields, Beacon Field and things like that. And so I'm imagining that this would do the same for baseball. And so this would give the kids the opportunity, a place to go play baseball. And kind of just sharpen up on some of those skills and get them ready for the high school teams, or middle school teams, whatever it may be, or for Parks and Rec, whatever it may look like. So I just feel like this is a good training ground to sharpen their skills. So I'm excited to see what it looks like, and so we can start adding some of those things into Parks and Rec.
Well, and I think it's set up so you don't need quite as much equipment.
Okay.
So a kid who wants to try some things out, they don't need the equipment to, and they can, and you can, and it's also set up so you can play some games with only 2 or 3 people, because sometimes it's like, well, we don't have enough to play a baseball game. So I know one of their goals is to make it accessible that you can do it without a bunch of people. I know my son's always looking for places to practice baseball, so he's excited to see it come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank John Smoltz and all the team really at Strikeout Baseball for pushing this out there as far as fundraising for it, et cetera. We have contributed, as far as the city of Lansing, about $100,000 into that, and then the remainder of that has really all been fundraised for, so we appreciate
That's amazing.
that. Emily, let's talk about what else do we have in this Lansing Living, again, that folks can register for beginning April 7th. What are some of the other activities in here that maybe we haven't talked about yet?
Oh, just really, there's a lot. And that's one of the things you talk about diversity. There's tons of classes, programs, so you can get real specific in enrichment classes, or like karate, or in all sorts of things. And so we have a lot of senior programming as well. So there really is something. We try to make sure that there's something for all ages, all the time. And really, and if there isn't a class that you want, like you said, let's fill out that 5-year plan. Let us know. If there's a class you can teach, please let us know, because we love bringing on new classes, and we love working with our community to kind of bring knowledge to everyone. So please reach out to us there. The other thing that we have coming up that you hadn't mentioned yet, which is one of my favorite things, mainly because I'm there all the time, is our Concert in the Park series. So we have 8 free concerts. They travel around to all the different or not all the different parks. We have 111 of them then, but to 8 different parks throughout the city, to make sure, and we spread them around that way so we can get to all different sides of town and make sure that we are trying to serve everyone and make it accessible for everyone. So we really like moving them around and highlighting different parks, and we also highlight different music genres. So it's really fun. It's free. This year I'm looking at adding some kind of themes around each one. So I know, like, our concert that's at Fenner, LCC's coming out to do free massages, and so we're gonna do some other like wellness things there.
Nothing like a concert and a massage.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
I know.
massage,
Don't make me go to a nature center and get a massage and listen to music. I mean, I think that's a pretty good Wednesday night.
Yeah.
But so we're looking to do that. Trying to work with our folks over at Francis to do some kind of plant lessons, and maybe you might be able to take some little piece of Francis home and plant it in your own garden, things like that. So we're working on that, and keep a lookout. We're going to try and make them add some fun things to each of the concerts. So.
And then the Mayor's Riverwalk, right in June.
Yes.
So what do we have coming up for the Mayor's Riverwalk?
So it's the first Saturday in June, and it is free to walk. We did do a competitive race part of it, so we do have that. That's $20, and that's just because we do timed bibs and things, so we have to pay for the timing system. But everybody who signs up gets a shirt. We do little different activities along the trail, so you have little ones, try to keep them going, because it is a 5K, which Ramon doesn't think is far, but I think is far. And this year, just because of some construction on the trail, we are going to it's going to be a loop. So it'll start at Potter Park and go out near Fenner and then come back to Potter Park. So it's been going on a long time. It's a good tradition. I know we've had people that come out every year for it, and I love seeing them. We're just really excited. You can sign up. Actually, that's open right now on runsignup.com. So if you can go and find it there and sign up right now and get your shirt size.
So a couple of other things this summer. Look for, we will be on the ballot with our City of Lansing Park Millage this summer. So if you have questions about that, feel free to contact me as far as where our park millage dollars go for improvements in the parks system. And I know some of that goes for our Kids Camp program as well. And then we will also be doing the construction at the North Lansing Dam. And this will be by the Fish Ladder, creating a music studio there, I guess a amphitheater, and having things there with dam jams. So whatever you do, we want you to get into the Lansing living, find something to get out into the parks, and whatever you do, register, enjoy, get out into the parks, and take a recreation class as well, because this is here for you.